Chapter 4, Episode 5. Hank Summer was born in a Catholic family in Washington, D.C., the world's war center administration. He didn't know that as a kid. All he knew for the first years he was conscious was that his parents were killed in a car crash. That it was an assassination was never revealed to the private press, often called the free press. Even though everyone knew the press was corporate-owned and the corporations preferred ill-informed, not free consumers over well-informed, capable thinkers, self-sufficient cyborgs. In fact, they would murder any president anywhere that attempted to abolish the ancient tradition of mute servitude to those that commanded the sword. Billy was overinterpreting a little. He, Hank, was put in a private school that was for boys only. It was outside of Washington in the hills of West Virginia. Around the grounds was a 6-foot barbed wire fence patrolled by armed private security, which included ready-to-tear-your-throat-out German shepherds. Billy elaborated on life inside such an institution. Sexually curious boys locked up with sexually curious boys, learning that sex is not fun. Every sperm is sacred. Getting caught, confessing, doing it again. Billy, what? Listen. Billy listened for a minute. Sip your cup. What cup? The name of this tune. Sally was distracting him. He watched her. She smiled and waited for him to remember who she was. Jesus, Sally? What? Billy listened to the song Sally was listening to. It was a chill kind of song. She was boldly relaxing. Billy watched and adored Sally for a few minutes. He was surprised to see what she looked like any time he had stopped looking at her for more than a few minutes. He thought he hid his surprise. Go on. Hank was in the business of war. He worked for Lockheed Martin and was a major shareholder. He was about to sign a deal with Mohan Amit from Pakistan to supply their military with 60 F-63 Falcon fighter jets, 70,000 X-380 low-grade plutonium smart missiles. A smart missile could be programmed to hit any target within 13.64 inches, which was silly because the blast radius was just under a third of a mile, and a few other smaller items in large numbers. This was the official cover story that was in no way public. Billy suspected something else was going on. He was trying to get a profile on their hits. Maybe also learn something about who might want or need them dead. Sex trafficking came into question when investigating Hank. Rich people weren't typically sex traffickers. They could afford to be end users. Their dirty work was done by dirtier folk. Sally checked her equipment, packed, and off they went.